Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, it's coming into focus here on the Clark the Shark Talk Radio Rogan extravaganza, not an experience, you guys. My name is now Shark Rogan, the biggest podcaster ever in history. Accurate, you guys. That's the deadly thing about me. Very accurate. Sometimes I keep little notes, you guys. Like, I'm so good, I have to. You guys are wondering why and how my videos are so good. They're not always off script. Sometimes I just keep little notes like this or two little things. It's scripted, you guys, kind of like a liberal Anderson Pooper. Think him, or maybe Brian Stelter, or that fat fucking, oh, dude. You know, the ladies on The View. They always have a quick, snappy comeback ready against conservatives. They're liberals, you guys. They're smarter than all of us little peasants. We know nothing without those liberals on The View to guide us right here on the Clark the Shit Show. But they don't know as much about the tubes as I do, me, Clark the Shark, and the completion backward principle. I always call it the completion backwards with an S principle. And that's how it should be called, because I, Clark the Shark, want to call it that. It's just an impulse. So all of you should too. I'm like Kanye West, the white version. I know God, you guys. I follow God, so you should follow me. Or something like that. Offensive. See, I wrote it, you guys. I wrote Clark the Shark Show. Offensive to liberals and YouTube. Because YouTube, you know, are liberals, and they'll ban and delete your video if they don't agree with you or you don't agree with them. Or, you know, they're starting to do it less and less nowadays because they're probably coming to their senses. Like, why are we banning people? That's not freedom of speech. Too late for Clark the Shark. All my fucking channels are gone, you guys. Millions of views, hard worked. You know, dude, back in the day, 2013, 2012, 2011, where Clark the Shark, where and when he ruled the internet long ago. But now, just a shell of my once great self, or something like that. The Clark the Shark Show, offensive to liberals and YouTube, and offensive to my liberal friends, of which... You guys, I don't have any friends, but if I did, they would be liberal and I would offend them. I promise you. And accurate, the most deadly thing of all about Clark the Shark. My show is accurate, you guys, and that's the scariest thing about me up in the South Bay when I go to Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's and the 4th of July, or I go around my other family, my wife's family, and they don't like the accuracy because I will call black people out, you guys, right to their face, and they don't like that. I'll be like, you guys, you know, you guys make up 9% of the population, you know, 50% of the prison. I know liberals don't want to hear it, you guys, and neither does Liz Cheney, Mitt Romney, and uppity goody two-shoes types, Republicans up in Palos Verdes. They're like, Shark, shut up. Don't speak. It's like that song by No Doubt, Sharky, don't speak, do, 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 we know what you're saying, don't tell me 'cause it hurts, Sharky, do, 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 do. That's right, Clark the Shark Show, offensive to liberals and YouTube who will ban and delete you if they don't like you. Sort of like how liberals and Democrats will. Also, out in society, if you go to Starbucks and you see some liberals, they will ban and delete you right on the spot, you guys, if you don't agree with them. Christians might do that too, or conservatives have their own way, but they'll laugh and be like, ha, dude, you're funny. You're not saved. You're not going to make it, bro. You're funny, Sharky. You're not going to get saved. I'm like, who knows? Maybe Sharky will get saved for being accurate. The Lord is like, Sharky wasn't 100% like, perfect and stuff, but like, I gotta admit it, that shark is accurate, true, and offensive to liberals and YouTube. He tries to be Clark the Shark. I'd even fucking be offensive to like Hannity or like Hush Bimbo or Mark Levin and be like, all right, Shark, that's enough. Shut up. We don't need your input, Sharky. Get off my show, you dope. You don't know what you're talking about. And I'd be like, Mark R. Levin, listen, I know about the tubes. Me, Clark the Shark. 1-800-449-8255 from the fabulous, amazing Sharkadoodle-Doo, the Sharkalama-Ding-Dong, Clark the Shark Show, baby. I know more than Rogan and Stephen A. Smith, Mark Levin, the great one, or Wayne Gretzky, the other great one. You guys aren't great because you're not Clark the Shark. Get a load of Rogan and Stephen A. Smith. They just learned about politics, like literally 2 months ago. Rogan has had this podcast for years, and he didn't know about like Republican versus Democrat until he had Trump on his show. And then he's all, I'm going to endorse Donald Trump because Kamala won't be on my show. Oh, yeah, dude, it really matters whether Kamala will be on your podcast. Oh, dude, you don't know that Kamala's an idiot? You haven't fucking figured that out? And you only like Trump because he was on your fucking show? Or, dude, really? Right here on the Clark the Shit Show. But today, you guys, I have the tubes on my show. I do, you guys. Clark the Shark. Now, this album here, completion backwards with an S, principle. I want to say that, you guys. This is where the tubes really changed into kind of a shitty band. Still good, though. They're right on the edge here with this album, you guys. Now, let's go back. Remote Control was totally different from the 3 albums before it. It was like new wave or, commercial or something, or like more accessible, and yet it rocked. The drumming is progressive from Prairie Prince. It kicks ass. Everyone's at the top of their game on that album. Remote Control. I wish the Tubes had made more albums like Remote Control, you guys, but instead they switched gears. And I guess, from within the recording industry, the music industry, those experts, they're always like whispering in your ear, Sharky, you can shift more units if you just write better songs, or make it danceable, Sharky, or keep that rock and roll thing, but make it so it can go right on K-Rock or, Power 106 or KLOS, or make it like commercial, Sharky, like the way Genesis did with Phil. And I unfortunately listened. I'm like, you guys, I got this new song. Are you making up your mind? Shark does that all the time. And they're like, yeah, Sharky, keep doing that. I'm like, I got this other one. No more whites, no more blacks. And they're like, Sharky, that's kind of weird, but that, dude, that rock, what is that? I'm like, yeah, it's kind of influenced and inspired by the Tubes. A little bit, you guys. Completion, backwards principle. This album right here, after Remote Control, sounds nothing like that, you guys. This is much more pop, commercial. They're working with the guys from Toto, what's his name, Steve Lukather or something. They're just totally trying new shit here, but in a bad way or something, or in a good way. You can't figure it out. It's kind of like when Cheap Trick did this too. They went more commercial, and I I guess sometimes a band just has to do that. Like me, Clark the Shark, I even did it, like I was doing all this wild shit with Phil Keegan, like number one, like do what you can to make sure that you can get it your way, can live for today, like, dude. And then all of a sudden, like, no more whites, no more blacks, and like, are you making up your mind? Like, dude, it ain't easy, Sharky. She's a bitch and then you live. Dude, I mean, I got really commercial. I guess, I had to, or thank God I did, because people were like, Sharky, you're so esoteric. And like, we don't know what you're talking about, Sharky. It's so underground and weird. Why don't you get more relatable? And I'm like, okay, you guys, I will. She's a bitch, and then you live. What do you think of that? Right here on the Clark the Shit Show. And they're like, all right, Sharky, that's much more accessible. And the Tubes are like, yeah, we're kind of like Clark the Shark. Listen to the completion backwards principle. And this album, you guys, is pretty good for a commercial, or like, you're just like, they're working with Toto, and dude, come on, you guys. Talk to you later. Side 1, track 1. Well, right away, dude, we put this album on, and talk to Shark later. Don't want to hear it again tonight. We'll just see Shark around. What a song, man. Talk to you later. The Tubes. Steve Lukather had a hell of a lot to do with it, you guys. They're really going commercial, or they got lucky here or something. And I'm not even sure if the Tubes are really playing on this. I think it's just like 2 or 3 of them. But, dude, it's like it doesn't even matter. Talk to you later. Side 1, track 1. This album is greeting you with the fact that they're like, we're about to kick some ass. And we got this other song on the next album coming that's going to blow your mind, Sharky. I'm not going to tell you guys yet, but it's about a beauty. She's a beauty. She's 1 in a million, Sharky. Dude, when I was in the South Bay, Redondo, Torrance, I just remember seeing a lot of girls and like, she's a beauty. She's 1 in a million, girl. Come on, you guys. What is so good about beauty? It's just pointless. I mean, from the neck down, or the neck up, whatever, they're all the same, or some of them got a pretty face, but that song ain't even on this album, you guys. It's coming in the future, but it would be like the last good thing or like commercial thing they would ever do. Love Bomb, just like the name of the album, it like bombed or something. It's a pretty bad album too. It's horrible, but like this album, you got to listen to it 1,000 times, and then you're like, oh, I get it now. And people probably say that about Clark the Shark. They're like, I listened to like his songs 1,000 times, and then finally I fucking got it, like in 2055, Q4. That's when that Malta crypto company will finally pay me, in Q4 2055, right here on the Clark the Shit Show. But talk to you later, you guys. Instant classic it was in its day. It still is. When you hear Talk to You Later by the Tubes, it takes everything on remote control and upgrades it or something. It's fucking incredible. And yet it's like a downgrade. You're like, dude, what is this? This isn't as good as, I don't know, dude. You're torn. You're conflicted, and yet you like it or something. And then track 2, Sushi Girl. Wow. I mean, this album is like really good or something, or really bad at the same time. You're just, dude, you are torn and conflicted, and you have to stop and think right there, sitting in your leather chair, and go, what are they doing? Sushi Girl. What? They're creating something all new, like a new funny genre or something on this album. It's not remote control. It's much more commercial, and yet it's funny or like, dude, it's hilarious. Uh, Sushi Girl. I mean, dude, maybe the best song on the album. I don't know, but I love it. It's pop, it's commercial, and yet it's not a hit, and yet it is, or something. And then Amnesia, same thing, you guys. Uh, really good. I love Amnesia. They're getting commercial. I like all the backing vocals that are such a staple of the Tubes are all over this album, you guys. Everything's upgraded here from the old earlier Tubes in a great way or a good way or maybe a bad way. Once again, if you are a hardcore Tubes fan, you are very conflicted by this album, and maybe in a good way or bad way. I don't know, but Amnesia, I love it. It's intricate, technical. The arrangements here on this album are interesting. It's a very, very interesting album, you guys. The Tubes, the completion backwards with an S principle, not backward. And Mr. Hate, easily my favorite song, you guys. Killer. I love Mr. Hate because I think it's about me, Clark the Shark. I do. These guys were writing a song about me, but the arrangement is killer. The first 4 songs on this are beyond interesting. You're almost convinced this could go right to the top of the billboards or something. Like, they're doing it. They are, they're selling out quite a bit here on this album, you guys. And yet, it's like they're not or something. You still like it. It's funny enough, and it's got that Tubes thing or that Tubes magic. It does, you guys. Now, the track Attack of the 50-Foot Woman might be where I'm like, dude, what the fuck are they doing? Track 5, side 1. Dude, that's the song that's a big letdown. I still like it. Come on. I still do, you guys. I love everything by the Tubes. Track 2, side 1, Think About Me. Dude, they're getting deep too here on this album, or like the lyrics are deep. It is nothing like Remote Control. It's like a totally different band, and yet you can tell it's the same band. It's weird. And A Matter of Pride, what a song. Awesome song, you guys. That's really good. A Matter of Pride. I love the lyrics or something. They're pop, commercial, and yet they're reaching out with this funny and yet irreverent or very direct. They're just coming at you on this album. And of course, the Bill Spooner, Don't Want to Wait Anymore. Awesome. The best song on the album, you guys. Don't want to wait anymore for Sharky. Oh, dude, what a song. Bill Spooner, he's always really great. Sounds like Fee is singing, but it's not, you guys. Almost sounds like a Cheap Trick classic with Robin Zander. Or, dude, it does. Power Tools I can do without. I don't really like that one, you guys. I don't, but I still listen. I play it over and over, trying to find some quality in it. And eventually I do here on the Clark the Shit Show. But let's make some noise, you guys. That's like me at night. Sharky, when I'm taking L-arginine, you guys. Here on the Shark Corolla Show. Let's go make some noise, baby. I like it, you guys. It's a good way to close out the album. It's kind of mediocre. I mean, this whole album is mediocre, but like it's really, really high quality, good, or like great mediocre or something. Like somehow, dude, this album becomes not my favorite. No way. I like the first 4 Tubes albums much more serious. Remote Control blows this away. It destroys it, but it's like you can't even compare the two. They're apples to oranges to bananas to mangoes, you guys. The next album after this, Outside Inside or Inside Outside or whatever it's called, once again, you guys, it's more commercial. They're getting more desperate to get on the radio and all that, and to their detriment, because sometimes, you guys, the commercial thing will destroy you. And I think it destroyed me, yours truly, Clark the Shark, when I started getting really commercial. My songs were once underground, like in a garage with Phil Keegan, or even by myself. And then, the songs clearly were getting radio friendly or people friendly. Brandy, Are You Making Up Your Mind? They do that all the time. Very friendly and or something, although it is dark and ghoulish or something, like She's a Bitch, like It Ain't Easy, and all that. You can definitely tell commercial will take over any band after a while when you don't have any money, in your pockets, and you want to get on the radio, or you want to get on the internet, or you want people just listening or tapping their foot or something. It happened to me, Clark the Shark, maybe in a good way. And it happened to the Tubes here, maybe in a bad way or a good way, depending on how you look at it, with this album. 1981, you guys. 2 years after Remote Control, the Tubes, the Completion Backward Principle. And I don't know why they call it that, you guys, because they completed this album, but it's not really backwards or a principle. Like, it's definitely calculated where they're going commercial, and they're keeping that funny, irreverent, like the Tubes are hilarious. They're funny. They're keeping that thing totally, fully intact, you guys. And yet they're going pop or something here on this album for sure. I guess they had to make money or get on the radio. And I'm torn. I'm conflicted on it, you guys. To this very day, I wonder what would have become of the Tubes had they stayed the band like those first 3 albums and been all progressive. They probably would have ended up like the Dave Matthews Band or some crap like that. I hope and pray not. But they will never know, you guys. The first Tubes album, the first 3 are progressive rock. They're very weird, and especially the Tubes now. Very weird albums. But then Remote Control is really fucking kick-ass. It is so good. It is so awesome. It's meat and potatoes. It's textured. It's progressive rock like Rush or Yes or, like The Who or something. But it's really involved, and it's not too commercial. It's just right. It's perfect. But then here, it's almost like it's a tilt too commercial. And yet, there's still a lot of textures and pastels to be painted. There's something very intricate going on here with the Tubes. Most interesting album, maybe, you guys. Arguably, it's Remote Control. But this album, where they go commercial, it's still very, listenable. Like, me, Clark the Shark, I want to hear this album, and I want to play it. And I get sick of it. I take it off, and then I put it back on, and I got to sit there and think for a second, like, what am I listening to? And then I listen, and I'm like, oh, dude, it's really good. I like this. I want you to buy it, you guys. Judge for yourself. Come on, you guys. The same way out there they judge I, Clark the Shark. I want you to go to Amazon, iTunes, Spotify. No matter how old you are. You could be 20 years old right here in 2024 on December 8th, Sunday. Or you could be 45 or 50 or 16 or 33. I don't care. Any one of you, I want you to listen to the Tubes. The Completion Backward Sharky Principle. And when you listen to this, think about me too, Clark the Shark, and how there was pressure on me to come up with more commercial ideas. I mean, it's great to be underground in a garage and doing the music that you love, with blazing guitar parts and technical drumming and all this shit. But then you realize maybe people, just dumbasses on the sidewalks, they don't want to hear that, or they don't understand that. They understand a beat, a groove and 4/4. Unfortunately, you guys, sadly, right here on the Clark the Shit Show. But if you can still make good or great commercial rock that's both good and commercial, God bless you, you guys. I hope bands can do that. It usually doesn't work out that way. Usually it's too commercial, or it's too esoteric, or too garage, or too this or too that. It's hard to find the balance of both. But I think here on this album, the Tubes, in some weird way, they find that marriage of commercial and technical. I would say it's 60 to 40 in favor of commercial, maybe 55-45, maybe, dude, I don't know, maybe 35-75. I don't know. It's, dude, I'm not 30. Dude, come on. I'm doing math like Al Gore here or something, or George W. Bush. 70-30 commercial to technical, or 60-40, or maybe 55-45, you guys. The Tubes, the completion backwards with an S principle. I feel more comfortable, you guys, saying that right here on the Fabulous, Amazing, and Accurate and offensive to liberals, Clark the Shark Show, and offensive to some conservatives, even right-wing knuckle draggers like Maniacs from Alabama or Arkansas. They're like, we don't understand you, Sharky. The hell you talking about? Trump loves us. You guys go on believing that Donald Trump loves you. And Liz Cheney's all, Donald Trump hates everyone. He's a fascist, racist, sexist, homophobic, misogynistic. He has misogynistia, Sharky. You guys, I invented that word, misogynistia. It's the real name and title of the She's a Bitch song from 1992. And you can go back, find the CD and everything from way back in the day. I will prove it. Me, Clark the Shark, the inventor of grunge. Come on, you guys, I wouldn't lie to you. I started everything, just like they say in the South Bay, Redondo, Torrance, Gardena, Hermosa Beach, everywhere. They're like, we hate Clark the Shark. We can't stand him. But he is accurate, and he did invent lots of things, or maybe everything. But we still don't like him. Come on, you guys. You follow along there, like he invented everything, and he thinks deep. But we don't like him. He's offensive. Clark the Shark. Proudly, you guys, I wear it as a badge of honor, or I wear it on my sleeve like I'm the sergeant, like the general. They called me the president in the South Bay and Torrance, Redondo, Hermosa Beach. I'm not kidding. There was a crew of people all over Los Angeles. They're like, here comes the president, Clark the Shark. He knows all about the Tubes, the completion backward principle. And baby, he's accurate. Buy this album, you guys, and tell them that you heard it from yours truly, from the golden EIB Sharkerphone, you guys. It's not a shitterphone. I'm just kidding, you guys. I'm lying to you. It's not made out of human shit. It's made out of a little plastic tube right there. The Tubes, the completion backwards principle. That's a T. That's not a tube, by the way. That in plumbing, we use that thing. It's like a 90 or a 45 or a piece of PVC or ABS. I don't know, you guys. Come on, you guys. I fixed my toilet. You all heard it right here on the Clark the Shit Show last week. The Tubes. Buy this album. I recommend it. I recommend Remote Control much more and those earlier 3 albums. But this one, I will recommend it too. Right here on the Clark the Shit Show. And I'm out of here, baby. Oh, that looks like the sun or the moon or... Dude, I don't know. It could be God up there on the Clark the Shit Show. I'm out. Peace.